this session, I really want to talk about how to close the gap between vision and being. How you translate your vision into being. And the reason it's really, really important is because your manifestation, your desire, the amount of money that you are wanting to manifest, it's already here. It has always been here. It will always be here. The house that you want to manifest exists right now. It's there. Everything that you want is already created. Creation is finished. The only gap, the only delay is how you see yourself, what you're conscious of being now. That is the thing which is the time lapse in the middle. It's not really the time lapse, it's the energetics lapse, which is very important to understand. It's the lapse in your frequency, in your vibrational alignment. When you become that version of you who already has it, and when that thing shows up in your reality, because that's when exactly it shows up, there'll be no difference in your vibration. That's when you are a match. You are already that person. You think like that person, you feel like, and you act like. Now, the problem is that the way these concepts are taught, sometimes they can be very confusing, and a lot of the teachings in the online space can be very misleading. One thing that I've observed a lot that people talk about is feeling good. If you are feeling good, you're on the right vibration, which is a complete nonsense. It doesn't work like that, because when you are feeling good, you are attracting more things to feel good about, but doesn't mean that you will attract more money necessarily. Money is directly proportional to your wealth consciousness. What are you conscious of being? When you go to a supermarket or when you place an order from Amazon, you don't go and call Jeff Bezos and think, okay, how is Jeff Bezos feeling? Do I want to give him my money today? You don't care. You just order, right? You go to a supermarket. You don't check with the founder or with the CEO. How are you feeling today? Can I give you my money? It's the identity. It's what they're a match for. You go to a Michelin star restaurant or you go to a really nice restaurant. You don't think, okay, how is their founder feeling? You just go and give your money and eat the food and have the time of your life. Feeling good has nothing to do with attracting money, but it has got everything to do with your wealth consciousness. The more you have, greater wealth consciousness you have, the more money you attract. Now, how do we really measure your wealth consciousness? In the monetary terms, what you're attracting right now is a reflection of your wealth consciousness. But we can go deeper and we can really look at it. But one thing that we really want to understand is that you cannot attract more money just by switching your thoughts, just by pretending that you're happy, or by just trying to be happy. What you really want to understand is that are your beliefs, are your thoughts, are your feelings, are your action in alignment with the person who has already got it? For instance, let's say you're driving in your car and all of a sudden you have this thought, it's not going to happen for me. It's not going to work for me. And then what we are told in the manifestation space is just switch it. Just switch the thought and feel good. This is not true. What you really want to do is you want to start to say, why am I thinking this way? Where is this thought coming from? What is the belief behind this thought? What is causing that thought? Let me go within and be curious. How I started thinking this way. If you notice there is something that you do, there's a kind of behavior, you're like, where is it coming from? Why am I doing this? I want to give you an example with one of my client. She was telling me that no matter how much money she manifests, she always has this feeling that it's not enough. It's not enough. She's not doing enough. It's very slow. And if she would see somebody else doing that, she'd be like, wow, this is so good. But for her, it always felt less. And what we uncovered was that when she was in her school, she was a topper, right? But her parents told her that although you're a topper, but your marks are not what they should be. You see how there is a correlation? She's topping in her money experience, but she still feels it's not enough. It's directly correlated to how she was treated, how things happened in her past. What you really want to understand is that your wealth consciousness is coming from somewhere, and feeling good or just ignoring the signs where you need shifting is not a great approach. Negative thoughts are the greatest thing to leverage and become curious to change your beliefs. It's not worth switching them. It's really, really, really important to understand that. The other thing, what I often see is a lot of times people spend a lot of time affirming, and I was there spending days, months, years affirming, I am so happy and grateful now that I have this, I have this. And affirmations do work, but they take time, right? Because you're changing something. Now, I wanted to make it fast. I said, what if we can shift our belief in a second? What if we instantaneously change our belief, our identity, because all the time lapse and all the delays that we're talking about, it's happening because of our consciousness. What if we change that? And what I realized was that in affirmations, you're trying to change something that doesn't exist. If you're trying to change something that doesn't exist, it's very hard to change it because it doesn't exist. When you are thinking, I'm not good enough, when you're thinking it's taking longer, when you experience lack in your life and you're trying to affirm abundance, all these things that you're seeing are illusion. You think you're not good enough because somebody told you that you're not good enough. You experience that in your physical reality. There is a proof in your physical reality showing you you're not good enough. Now, when you are affirming the opposite, you are changing something that doesn't exist. It's an illusion. Instead of trying to change an illusion, what if we just recognize that it's an illusion and we shift our beliefs straight away? Because we realize we're believing in something that doesn't exist. It's not true. It's illusion. And how does that thing comes from? That thing comes from curiosity. That thing comes from introspection without judgment. That thing comes from, why am I thinking this way? Interesting. How am I actually thinking? Oh, I'm thinking that. Is it true? According to who is it true? Is it absolutely true for me? Can I really put my hand on my heart and say, this is my absolute reality? Or I know it's not. And the more you realize that the desires you have are there to uncover your truth, and all the other things that you're carrying, they don't need years of affirmation or weeks of affirmations or months of affirmations to change because they don't even exist. They're an illusion. And what you start to do is you start to recognize the illusion and you start to say, this doesn't belong to me. This is not mine. So I don't need to carry it with me. I'm putting it down. And the moment you have this moment of truth where you're like, what is my truth? The thing that I'm trying so hard to change doesn't even exist. It's like becoming a parent. You're not affirming, I'm a parent, I'm a parent, I'm a mother, I'm a father. Why not? Because you already are. And anything else contradictory is a lie. Doesn't exist. So you don't need to affirm it. If somebody comes and tells you you're not a parent, you'll be like, I am. What are you talking about? Are you crazy? Why? Because what we really do here is we say, what is my truth? And we reverse engineer from that. When we have this feeling, it's going to take me longer, we say, according to who? What is my truth? Why am I affirming something that try to change something that doesn't exist? What is an illusion here? And the moment you identify the illusion, you shift straight away because it doesn't exist. It's like you're trying to find a country on the map that doesn't even exist. And you're like, where is the country? I want to fly there. But it's not there. And the moment you realize it's not there, you have this immediate shift, right? Now, the other thing which is really important to understand is that when you are shifting these illusions and you're very introspective and you are shifting your beliefs, your ideas every day, right? I provided a tracker in the Wealth Fountain if you want to keep track of them and if you want to say what new pattern I'm replacing it with. But there is this frequency a lot of people live with, which is not yet. I will do this when I have this. I will be able to earn this much money when I have done that. I will have this when I. And this when I is based on logic, which is your past thinking. Your past thinking is telling you it's going to take long. Although you really want it, you visualize it, but there is this tiny gap which is saying not yet. Not yet. Just not yet. Just not yet. And that thing is always keeping it in the future. The question is, what is that thing that you're holding on to that is saying not yet, not just yet. And you want to identify it and say, why am I keeping it away? Why am I keeping what I want from me away? And it is a really powerful incident what Richard Branson did. Richard Branson lives in an island. And a lot of people might say, oh, he's a billionaire. Of course, he would get to live in an island. But he got that island when he didn't have a lot of money. In fact, he didn't have a lot of money at all. He found this island and he wanted to really get that. And he decided that he wanted to book a viewing for that island. As a part of the package, to view the flight, the flying and staying, all of that was included as a part of the viewing. The company provided you with the flights to that island, the viewing and all that things and staying in the island. What he decided was that he really liked this woman and he was like, what if I tell her that I'm going on a holiday and let's go together? I'm going to an island. He took her, she said yes, and they went to the island. Now, when we spent a weekend there, it was amazing. He saw himself living there. It was so good. Now, let's really focus on not yet energy, right? On paper, on logic, on the basis of logic, he only had at that time 100,000, and the price of the island was $6 million. $6 million at that time. We're talking decades away. And he only had 100,000. So he could have said, not yet. When my business will thrive, when I have that, when I have this is what we do, right? I'll earn this much money when I. He, after the weekend was over, he placed the offer and he said, I have 100K. I'll find a way to get 150 until 150 if I do this and I do that. He placed the offer for 150,000 on the island, which costed 6 million. And of course, the realtor or the estate agent said, no way, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Like, it's like 6 million. How can we accept that offer? And they rejected that offer. And he just went home. But he had a beautiful weekend, a beautiful holiday. So the first thing is he dared asking. He dared to allow himself to see himself living there. He dared really saying, you know what? I can have that. Instead of saying when I'm earning 10 million, I will buy that. When I do this, when I buy my business, he didn't do any of that. After a year, they contacted him again because nobody really bought the island. And it's not a very big surprise because not a lot of people search, I want to buy an island. So it wasn't really, a thing at that time. So he was contacted and said, is your offer still on? Do you want to buy it for 150K? And at that time, he had 150K because it was in a year later. And he said yes, and he bought the island. Although he still lives in that island, the $6 million at that time, but that island, he bought it for 150K, okay? This is the power of saying yes now and not saying not yet, not yet. Whatever your logic is telling you, it doesn't matter. It's the product of your past thinking. Doesn't matter what you think is possible. If you want it, like, let's not say when I have more followers, I will earn this much. When I do this, when I take that course, when I decide that, when I'm good at that, when I can do this, when I earn this much money, then I can. Let's just completely take this not yet, because this is such a powerful blind spot. What I see with most of the people, they are subconsciously deciding that it's going to be in the future. The three words that I absolutely love using is be it now. Not that you want it now, not that you feel it now, you be it now. Because when you be it now, you think it, you feel it, you do it. So do it now will be happening when you be it. And be it will take care of think it, feel it, act it, or do it. What did he do? Because he saw himself as that person, he dared offering. Imagine offering 150K for something that cost 6 million. That's the power of asking. How many times we actually ask before saying when this will happen, when circumstances are better, when my kids have grown up, when I have more time, when I feel better, when everything is all in place, when I figured this thing out. I found myself doing this so much before. And now I'm so vigilant to catch myself when I'm saying when I really want this. I see myself with it. But when there is no when I. Be it now. Be it now. That's it. You jump all in. You jump in the pool. You don't care what the temperature of the water is. You don't care if you're ready. You just jump and everything will fall into place. You will think, you will feel, and you will act. Being it now means I am asking for it now. If I want to see, you can put in X. I'm saying X, but you can put whatever number, that XK months, right? I'm calling it in my reality now, not when I have done that. Not when everything is perfect, not when I've got everything figured out, not when I have done the next training. I want to share with you something really, really vulnerable and something that I experience, which is very, very common, that when I didn't have the be it now energy and I was always putting my desire in the future, what I did was I would try and strategy, and I would try because I wasn't it now. And I would know that it wouldn't work because deep down I wasn't that person. And I would already think that this is not working. When I find the next strategy, that is going to work. Perfect. If that's my belief, perfect. Then I found the next strategy. While I was executing the next strategy, I said the third strategy will work. Because no matter what, I put it in the future. I never allowed myself to have it now. I kept going through this strategy hopping, and the now never came until I went to the eighth strategy and I was tired and exhausted. It's not the strategy. It's, are you calling it now? Are you really asking for it now? Or are you in the not yet? Till I do this, till I figure this out, until I have this much followers, till these people sign up for my masterclass, till this thing happens, until I'm on the right frequency. You're not on the right frequency because until you're on the right frequency, you see how it's like a spiral, it's a loop, never-ending loop. The question is, are you really asking for it now? Because there is no such thing as future. Now is transmuting into later. Now is transmuting into what you're experiencing after now. There is no such thing as future. It has always been the now. It will always be the now. One concept which is really mind-boggling but really powerful to understand is that every moment of your life is individual on its own. It's like these chunks put together is your life. Like every single moment, it's by itself. Now, why one moment seems connected to the next one, why this seems present and then this seems future and this seems past, is because your belief system don't change massively. So from 1 second ago to now, I still believe the same things about me. That's why I manifest the same thing. And for me, it feels like a continuation. Although there is no continuation, it's by every moment it's on its own. And this is a really powerful concept to understand, that the moment you shift your belief drastically, your reality will change. The moment you be it now, it's a standalone moment, outside will change. The reason that yesterday seems very similar to today is because your beliefs haven't changed. It's not a continuation. Today is not a continuation of yesterday. Today is a continuation of the energy. You held on to that energy, you vibrated the same way, you think the same thoughts, you felt the same thing. That's why you're experiencing the similarities. But there is no continuation. It's a standalone thing. It's every time is a reflection. If I take my picture and if I keep taking my picture in the same outfit and just keep doing the same thing, it will feel like a movie, right? It feels like a movie, the continuation of picture, but every picture is on its own. But if I take my pictures, but every time I change my outfit, every time I change my beliefs, every time I change everything, then it won't feel like a continuation. It's a separate picture on its own. The thing that is projected on the camera of your outer reality is what you're projecting now. And it's a standalone thing. There is no continuation. That's why being it now is so powerful. You dare say, I see myself with it. One concept which has massively helped me to really nail this in the last few weeks is the idea of Minecraft. This game Minecraft, it's quite famous these days. A lot of young kids love it. We have allowed our son to play it 1 hour once a week because we want to really limit the digital. And once he was playing with a daughter, and they were building a house, they were building the windows, they were building the furniture, they were talking about getting the food. They were literally playing that game as if it's real. And I was sitting there and I was like, guys, this is not real. Why are you talking about it like it's real? And my husband was sitting there, and both of them were like, all three of them were like, this is real. This is Minecraft. And I thought, if we can use a game and make it so real that we are having the same feelings, same emotions, same things, same conversations, then why can't we do it with our imagination? The idea that these guys have their Minecraft world where they're living a certain life, they're living in a certain house, they're choosing the cushions, they're choosing the furniture. I could see like them talking the finest detail, right? Why can't we do it with our own world? If you want to call it La La Land, if you want to call it your delusional world, whatever you want to call it, it's your parallel world. And the thing, because I was wondering, what makes it so real and so powerful for them? What makes them say, this is real? What makes them question me? But I'm like, this is not real. I can see this is not real. Why are they so determined on the idea that this is real? And what I realized was the reason being because they're focusing on the detail. They're so involved with every single detail. My son was saying to his sister, I'm buying the food, I'm choosing this furniture, I'm doing this, and now it's raining, and now this is happening. Why it felt so real for him? Because of the detail. The magic is in the detail. Being it now and moving with the details. If you desire to attract certain number of clients, do you see in a lot of detail helping them transform their life? Do you see in a lot of detail your sessions? Do you see in a lot of detail what they're saying to you, what you're saying to them? Do you see in a lot of detail what it looks like? The only problem where you have these thoughts, am I doing enough? Why this happened? I'm trying, but it's not. All of this is the gap in the being, in the embodiment. You are not opening the channel to receive. You haven't jumped all in. There's a part of you who's still trying to control. There's a part of you who's still like, is it safe? Can I go in? The difference is in being. You are it or you're not it. And the more you see yourself with the details, the more you have full conviction in your parallel world. Because after watching them playing this game, I was wondering, like, what is real? Especially in this virtual reality time, what is real? It makes me question, what is real? And the truth is, whatever you focus, whatever you choose to believe, I saw that example, that their determination, their conviction, and them saying to me, this is real. And I was like, why can't we do that? Why we give so much power to our reality, which we think it's real, when it's so easy to just build a parallel world. I really got this inspired idea from Minecraft. When they play and they finish the game, they leave themselves in a certain place, like they are in their house, everything is fine. And they always tell me, if we are stuck somewhere, you have to let us finish and get us in the place where we are fine. So when we start next time, we are okay, right? And what if we go in our La La Land or our delusional world like that? And we saw all the details, and we build the walls, and we build the detail, and we build the furniture, and we build all those things. And realize that it doesn't matter if you're happy or sad or whatever you're feeling or how your things are. It's all about what you're conscious of being now. And what you're thinking now at that time is your truth. And not only that I read it in manifestation books or trainings, but my kids told me it's real. What if we just accept that whatever we focus on is real? And there is a parallel world where we are living right now. And we put so much care and love and passion and desire to build it. Because it's real. And before we know it, it precedes our current reality. That's what Elon Musk did. So his ex-wife, she was giving this TED talk, some kind of talk, and she was talking about this, that he builds a parallel world in his mind and he lives from there. And a point comes when this world is taken over by his parallel world. Having that kind of conviction, having that kind of knowing that and nothing on this planet can take you away from that. This is where the power comes. I was listening to this example from Jason Derulo, who has the most world record as a singer. in the music industry. And he was sharing this example that he had his world tour planned and he was ready. He was about to visit like a lot of countries. Everything was planned, booked out, tickets were sold, everything. And then all of a sudden his spine broke, like he couldn't stand. And the doctors told him that he can never walk on his feet again, never. And you know what he did? He rejected that idea. And he was sitting on the wheelchair, but he went to his music studio every day because he saw himself as a successful artist. Doesn't matter what the reality says. What is real? What is real? What is your truth? Everything else is an illusion. We don't need to affirm it. We just need to find the illusion and cancel it. You cannot change illusions. We're trying to change illusion because illusion doesn't even exist. There's a reason we call it illusion. How can you change something that's not even there? That's why it's so hard to change our beliefs through manifestation, through affirmations. What he did was every day he went in his office, in his studio, and he just lived like a very successful artist. And during that time, he got this inspired idea of an album, and that album has broken the most world records ever. And he said that if I would have done that world tour, I wouldn't have been that successful versus receiving this idea for the album. And he wrote it, he sang it, and because of his identity and all his conviction, he recovered. Sometimes when life is not taking the turn that you want, it's not about questioning your identity. It's about receiving. It's about trusting that maybe the things are slowing down because I need to receive something. It's about trusting the flow, trusting the ebbs and flows. It's not happening according to your plan. It's about trusting that it's up and it's down, but it's the right, perfect, divine way. That if he would have fought that and if he would have gone in spirals, he wouldn't have tuned into that intuition that was given to him as a gift that changed his life. Why do we decide that when things are going according to our plan, I'm manifesting, and when it's not, I'm not? You don't even know how to manifest what you want. You are asking for divine guidance and intervention and all of that. Then why you are so stuck on the plan that it has to be my plan? Let's slow down to receive. Let's run faster when it's time to run fast. Because it's not, this is so important what I'm about to say. It's not your performance. It's your being. Let's not try to perform and prove so much, because what you're really trying to prove it to yourself. That is no performance-based manifestation. If I do more, I get more. If I do less, I don't get more. It's the being. When you come from that place, when you build your Minecraft world, when you are setting when you're setting the walls, when you're setting the furniture, when you're seeing all the colors, when you're like, because that detail gives you the power. The power is in the detail. Then you come from that place. You cannot go there. If you try to go from here to there, there is no match, there is no frequency. You come from there. This is where the magic happens. Your identity has to be so solid. You have different identities in your life that are so solid, nothing can take them away. You have just jumped now. There is no going back. Identity with being a mother, with being a father. Till the end of times, you are a parent if you have kids. There is no going back. You are somebody's child. There is no going back. Why there is going back in the life you want? Why there is a performance? You don't say, if I'm doing really well, then I'm a mother, otherwise I'm not. You are. And that's natural. That's breathing. It's about being it now and taking off all the illusions, because when you recognize it's an illusion, there is nothing left to change. There's no affirmation needed. It's all stepping onto the truth.